Hey, what's up everyone? Cobanermani456 here today, presenting to all a news update on Sonic Forces, as we got ourselves a ton of gameplay footage and info over the past couple of days, thanks to Famitsu, Gamescom, and the official Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube channel, which also uploaded the Metal Sonic remix, which sounds very similar to the Metal Sonic theme and the US version of Sonic CD. So I can't really say it's my favorite theme for the character, but it kind of sounds very similar to All-Stars Racing almost in a way, with some of the like dubstep kind of added to it, so you can hear it in the beginning of this video right here, and you can also check it out on, like I said, the official Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube channel. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video, as we are going to be talking about the tag team mode gameplay style, which looks very similar to something you'd see in Sonic Heroes and Sonic Advance 3, because you can switch between the custom character and Sonic, depending on what you actually want to do, because, you know, the custom heroes have the Wisp on, so most likely going to be using them for combat and whatnot, and then if you want to go super fast in like a linear section, then you're going to use Sonic. So we got ourselves a lot of Green Hill Zone gameplay footage. I believe it's Green Hill Zone. It kind of looks dried out actually, like a desert in a way. So maybe this is like something that you play before you actually play with custom character and whatnot, but yeah, anyways, let's check it out. Alright, so it's time to get into the tag team gameplay. And by the way, this footage is from IGN, so if you want to watch the full video showcasing the Burst, Lightning, and Cube Wisp, which is new to this demo, you can go check it out on their channel. But I'm just going to showcase the Lightning Wisp because I've played it, so I can kind of talk about it a little bit more. And then also, it kind of seems to be the most controversial in the fan base right now. But anyways, we are about to see a new power, which is, I guess, like a tag team power or whatever. It seems very similar to Shadow the Hedgehog's Chaos abilities, where, you know, if you fill up the hero gauge, you can blast through the stage super fast, but yeah, look at this. Together we can show the world what we can do. You are next to me and I'm next to you. Push me on through until the battle's won. Yo, I know that's so cheesy. I know a lot of people were like making a big deal out of it, kind of like how people make a big deal out of like the Werehog's like battle music and whatnot. And totally didn't expect the song to be talking about that right there. But I don't know, I like Fist Bump a lot. And this game's kind of giving vibes to like the early 2000s Sonic games, to where the cheesy music was definitely a thing that you kind of love about the game. So I don't know, I like it a lot. Anyways, alright, so we're kind of like going to a factory section, which looks very similar to something you'd see in Sonic Boom. In some ways, I kind of feel like this game was like, it's like what Sonic Boom should have been in a way, I guess, or what they were trying to go for with that game. But anyway, the Lightning Wisp works like the Lightspeed Dash, so yeah. And then Grappling Hook. This is kind of actually interesting to look at though, because you can switch between the two characters, so you can decide if you want to play with modern Sonic or the custom hero. But yeah, right there, you see that? So the Lightning Wisp kind of controls very similar to like Knuckles gameplay in Sonic Heroes, just all over the place, loose, and just look at this, coming on the edge right there, like super close to the edge. And honestly, that's how it played at the E3 demo. So it doesn't really look like much has changed with the Custom Heroes controls, which is, to be honest, I'm kind of concerned about the Custom Heroes gameplay, but I don't know. It just feels very similar to like Sonic and the Black Knights movement in a way, to where it's just, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe. But anyways, that was it for that right there. And the Cube Wisp is actually really cool. I believe they showed that on Sonic the Hedgehog's official channel, to where you know, it basically just destroys all enemies around you. You don't have to do anything, so it's kind of broken in a way. But yeah, I mean, if you don't want to use the Lightning Wisp or anything like that, you can by all means definitely do that. But the Cube Wisp, actually, I just remember this. The Cube Wisp actually reminds me of like Amy's power-up in a way. Kind of like, what is it, like Sonic 06 or whatever, where like she'll just like slam her hammer into the ground. Well, that's what the custom hero does with the blue Cube Wisp. And it just takes out every enemy around her, so it's pretty cool. But anyways, the tag team mode is looking pretty fantastic. Like I said, it looks very similar to something you'd see in like Sonic Heroes, Sonic Advance 3, and then it kind of has, the power-ups, very similar to like Shadow the Hedgehog. So I think it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. Like I said, I'm just pretty concerned about the Custom Heroes gameplay, just because it feels really off. And like I said, it looks very similar to what it was when I played it at E3. So I guess this is kind of like the final, this is like the final version basically. The game's coming out in just like a couple of months, so can't really be expecting too many changes. But not only did we get ourselves just gameplay and music, we also got ourselves release dates and screenshots. So this game's going to be coming out November 7th in the US, and then November 9th in Japan. And then with these screenshots right here, you all can see some artwork, like Green Hill Zone, the custom character right here, and then Amy, Silver, and I believe Espio? I can't recall, I'm not looking at the picture right now. But they're all in this headquarters room, and it looks very similar to something you see in Sonic Chronicles, like when Sonic teamed up with Eggman to kind of like go through his city or whatever. Does anyone remember that in Sonic Chronicles? Looks very similar to that. So I still wonder if this game has some tie in some regard, if there's going to be some reference or whatever. But I don't know, I just thought it was pretty cool. It definitely reminded me of that. But anyways, that about wraps it up for this video, so let me know down below what you all think about Sonic Forces so far, as we should be getting ourselves a lot of news over the next couple of months. Would love to hear what you all have to say, as, you know, like I said, it kind of seems a little bit mixed right now. You know, there are a lot of people who are bashing on the game because they're like, oh my god, Mania is the best, and this looks nowhere near as good as Mania. But at the same time, I feel like this game's trying to cater towards people who played, you know, the Sonic games around the early 2000s, like, you know, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic Heroes, you know, games like that. So I feel like that's the audience that they're trying to cater to, and it pretty much delivers if you honestly look at it, even with the controls. But anyways, make sure to go ahead and drop a like if you did enjoy this video, and I'll try to do more news updates ASAP. And also going to be doing the Knuckles story for Sonic Mania very soon. I'm trying to kind of figure out how I should do it, if I should do it all in one video, or if I should kind of like try to split it up in, I guess, 4 parts, something like that. Let me know down below. But anyways, enough of my rambling. Thank you all again. See you all. Have a good day. Peace, Republic of Cobanermites. Take care.